Hello, everyone. Hey, I'm glad you came by today. Welcome to our studio. We've been working on a special series. This is probably about an 8-week series, so we got a little while to go on this one. Anyhow, come over to the board and I'll show you what we've been working on. We're working on a little boy fishing, and we've got a lot of it done, but we still got a lot of work to do. So come on over and we'll just start to work on it, okay? Now, the first thing I'm going to do probably is the little shirt, and then we'll probably do the suspenders and a little more, and then to touch up anywhere I can see that it needs to. Then we'll paint the little dog in there. Then we got some stuff to do in the background here, which we will work on a little bit later. Now, first of all, I've mixed up a little color. I'm going to start I'm trying to keep it close to the one that we done a long time ago. I will start with some shadow colors, probably and we'll probably put a little white shirt on it. Now I've mixed up a little color here. It's just white with a touch of blue and a touch of crimson. And this is almost from the same color. It's got a little bit more blue and a little bit more crimson in it, which, as you can see, it's a little darker. And that'll be some of our outlining shadows, and we'll tone them a little bit as we go along. I'm going to grab a little bit smaller brush than that one, rinse it out just a little bit. And I think I'll start with some of the little bit the darker shadow color. And we'll just start putting shadows in and around wherever we think it should be. And that's probably not dark as we need it there. So I'm going to darken it just a little bit. I'll just grab a little blue that we had previously mixed, probably for his blue jeans. We're using the same color palette. I'm going to go right here, make it a little bit darker quicker. Now I'm going to grab a little bit of alizarin crimson and add to that. Now I've got 3 different colors there, and I can intermix them or work with them any way I want to. I'm going to get a little bit of the darker. And start again. I want it just a little darker than I had there. And I think I want it just a little bit bluer than that. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to grab a little of the darker blue, just a touch. I think I got it a little darker than I like it to be, so I'm going to grab a little white. I'm going to try just a touch of that. Rinse my brush out. That's exactly what I want. Now we're going to start putting a few folds in his shirt. Actually, the shoulder looks like comes over right here. And we go right down and over the little dog, and I grabbed up a little of that color, which sort of messes up the color of the shirt, so I'm going to wipe that off. Yeah, that's it. Now your colors that you're mixing, sometimes even after you put it on, you say, well, that's not the color I wanted. Just go back and paint right over it. Now there'll be a shadow there. And shadow under there. Now as you can see, it's beginning to form. In other words, it looks sort of round, or you have a nice view perspective of it. And we just add a little shadow right there, and it looks like he's got a crease right here. And this side, basically the same thing. Right around his little chin. And I'll pull that line all the way down. And make that little fold right there. And I'll bring it on down. And around. Now these folds would sort of go that way. Then that's his little cuff there. And that area there would sort of be in the shadow. So I'll put a little color in there. Now I'm going to go over here to this little sleeve. And actually I put a cuff on this one. The other little shirt does not have the same thing. So that's a little change we made. And of course when I get through, I'll come back and go over the top of those little overall breeches. Now you can take this same color and just blend it out into the white. And right here I'll show you what I mean. And sometimes you can use that as your white. I'm going to blend this just a little bit. I'm sort of taking the end of the brush like so. I'll do the same up here. Just blending, just blending. I'm going to rinse that brush out and dry it just a little bit because I want to do a little more blending. Then we're going to go back and add some white highlights to it. You see, I can almost finish it without going back into the other colors. I think white is a beautiful color to put shadows on. And for the most part, it's not completely white. I probably put a little shadow right in there. Let me blend this one out. Now all I'm doing now is just blending what colors I got on there. And we'll go back and highlight a lot of this. I think I'm going to put a shadow right in there. And I'm going to blend this in a little bit. I believe I want a little more shadow in there. But I'm going to keep this dry brush to do my blending with. So I'm going to lay this one down. I'm going to come back with a little bit smaller brush. I'm going to rinse it out a little. There's no telling what I got in it from all these colors. I need a little color right there. Now I want some over here. I'm going to use a little bit of the darker to start with. Now I want a little dark on the other side of the little gallus here. And I need a little shadow under this area of the little collar. Just trying to get all the detail that I can before I start doing my highlights. Now I need a shadow in here, but I'm probably going to do this with my shadow color. Then when I come back and highlight it, I probably will pull a line down through here with the white. Need a little darker right there. Yeah. And right there. Now I believe I want a little darker there, but I think I need a little, I'm going to add a little alizarin crimson. Right there. Now that might be too dark, but let's just try a little of it. I don't believe it's quite dark enough. We will remedy that. I'll pick up a little of this blue. I'll probably come back later and redo some of that. Now we're pretty well got it, most of our basic shadows in. And put a little darker down in there. I got alizarin crimson on that. You see what that does? That pulls that, gives you a little definition in there. All right. I think I'll put a little shadow there. Okay. You rinse it out real good. See if I can get that alizarin crimson off of that. It's no problem because you can just paint right over it if you can't. I think I want a little darker right down in here. But I think I'm going to blend that out first. A little darker right there at the bottom. Right down in this area. Okay, can you see anywhere else we need to go? And I may come back with a little dark right in that area, I'm not sure. Again, let me clean this brush out. I got plenty of brushes, let me just grab another one. Okay. This is almost straight white. And I've got a whole lot of other color in that little brush. Okay. Let me just lay that thing down, get it out of the way. Now I'm trying not to touch where the paint is wet because sometimes you get it all over your hand and you get it all the way on your picture. I think I'm going to move my paint a little closer. Let me put a little paint up here. All right. Now I can get to it better. All right. We got a few minutes left. We'll just keep working. What I'm doing now is just really going back and putting in highlights. Wish I had that red out of there. That's okay. Sometimes that adds to it. Now you can see the shadows really coming into play. That's what I mean about a white garment. Really makes the painting stand out. We got a minute or two, looks like. So we'll just keep working a little bit here. All right. See, that gives your painting a lot of depth. Lord, you know I hate to do it, but we got to leave you today. Hey, I've enjoyed being with you. Come back next week and we'll do a little more work on our picture. Goodbye and God bless.